I'll release a bit of avalanche on our boat. About the half 8. So we'll see how that goes. That didn't happen today, did it? So can't happen tomorrow. Anyway. I don't even know what the hell you're on about.
Taxi driver saved us up and was going to work savings. I suspected she was going to tease out. She lost us on her phone. I can't pronounce his name. My brother. 52, so the woman 80 was talking to me, turned to work out, trying to go over to her back when she backed. Once there, Mr. Barry raises concerns with the bank staff who confirmed the call of the
So what were you, a worker?
He was a taxi driver. Yeah, drop off.
And he thought there was something suspicious.
So I went to sit down with him and told that people. So I stopped it.
Oh, isn't that nice? Because you don't hear things like that, do you, these days?
Use it for
yeah, you may as well. Pedo wanted in US moves near UK schools. How did they get away with it? Who's letting them through? If you ask me, anybody that does look like that should be fucking have their throats. Shut that.
Supercharged. Extra ball. Multiplier. Supercharged.
Mark 96 is still working in the petrol shop.
Oh, an old lady.
And I would have to 96 if you stop working at a pet shop in that school, the what was told me to clear off.
That's impeccable.
Extra ball.
Isn't it? Right. 96. Some people get to retirement age and pack up straight away, don't they?
Yeah, with the bar.
Yeah. Then they vegetate and die. That's what you mean.
Supercharge.
Yeah.
Supercharge. Supercharge.
That's the terrible stuff.
Multi-ball. Multiplier up. Recharge. Supercharge.
So Darren's give his PS5 and his account to his son. Yeah, he told me yesterday. He said, I did send you a message, Stephen, but I'm not sure if you read it, but I've given my PS5 to my son now. Oh, his son's about 20 or something, but he's always looked after his lad. He's a bit special as his lad. Not a lot wrong with him, he's just a slight bit of autism. I've only met him once, but he was nice enough actually. So his dad gives everything he has to him. He even gave him his best phone that he loved. And he said, no, if my son has to have a phone, he has to have it to get a cheap one. So he did, glad. You've got to give credit to people and when it's good. Darren is just a lovely fellow though. Sometimes they don't always feel appreciated here anymore, which is a bit sad really. I like to be appreciated, don't you?
Supercharge. 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 Multiplier up. Supercharge. Multi-ball. Supercharge. bar. Wrecking bar upgraded.
Oh, you fucking bastard. Got his views at 6.
Oh, it's lovely.
Are now at risk.
The future of the Pride is uncertain due to conflict with humans. Watch live the rise and fall of the Marsh Pride now on BBC iPlayer. As the BBC celebrates our 100th birthday, Margarita and Adam look back at the last 100 years of farming on a country farm at 7.
Fucking fat. I don't know.
What's it?
There's over 10 suspected foreign power. Do you know what the government's response is? It's dawned.
The victor wants to kill conflict.
Actually, going to be very out to be very good about it. Yeah, I don't think so about it.
Tonight at 9 on BBC One and iPlayer.
True. What's about Lady Bird? He's actually looking at his idea and actually
News
goes
with
with
Clive Myrie.
Oh, what's been going on with it?
That's just like
A promise to help millions with the skyrocketing cost of energy this winter from the two candidates for Prime Minister.
he's not
We'll
like
know
that.
tomorrow who will be moving into number 10.
I don't want
Liz
it to be
Truss or Rishi Sunak.
And I'm not bothered either.
Within 1 week, I will make sure there is an announcement on how we are going to deal with the issue of energy bills.
We're facing a genuine emergency. I think anyone pretending that that isn't the situation isn't being straight with the country. And by the way, across Europe.
We'll be finding out what kind of financial help consumers want. Also on the programme. 2 men are arrested in Liverpool in connection with the murder of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell. And Manchester United end Arsenal's winning run in the Premier League with victory at Old Trafford.
Too much sport.
Fucking idiot. Just go home. All money for it. Peter. Peter and
Good
Ellen.
evening. The front runner in the Conservative leadership race, Liz Truss, says she'll act within a week to help people with soaring energy bills if she becomes Prime Minister. Her
No.
rival, Rishi Sunak, says he'll target further financial help for the poorest. The victor will be announced as the next
Look,
Tory
you're
leader
starting
tomorrow,
again,
with the
Alex.
result
What are you doing?
expected
Didn't you
around lunchtime. The Queen will then formally appoint the winner as the new Prime Minister on Tuesday at Balmoral, in a break with tradition that would usually take place in London. With more, here's our political correspondent, Ian Watson.
With serious economic challenges to confront, you might wonder why anyone would want to move in here. But this week, there'll be a new occupant of number 10. Pollsters' favourite is Liz Truss. Rishi Sunak has described himself as the underdog. The winning candidate will have to tackle the cost of living crisis head on. If it's her, as Truss said, there'll be swift action.
I understand that people are struggling with eye-watering energy bills, and there are predictions of even worse down the track. If I'm elected as Prime Minister, I will act immediately on bills and on energy supply.
But even under scrutiny, she gave no details of her scheme and few clues. She wouldn't say if the scale of support would out in furlough, or if, like the opposition parties, she'd freeze prices. Labour said that neither Conservative candidate had eased people's anxieties over the soaring costs that they were facing.
The two leadership candidates, Liz Truss we've just heard from, cannot give a specific answer to the one question that everybody wants an answer to, which is what is going to happen to my bills.
Pretty soon, the winning Conservative candidate is going to have to stop campaigning and begin governing. And if it's Liz Truss who walks through the famous black door, we can expect a substantial package of support to be announced this week, despite her decrying handouts, which was on the campaign trail. She also says within a month she'll keep her promise to cut taxes, And today she defended her intention to reverse the national insurance rise. It was pointed out that better off people stood to benefit more.
So inevitably, when you cut taxes, you tend to benefit people who are more likely to pay tax. Is it fair? It is fair. We promised in our manifesto that we would not raise national insurance.
During the campaign, Rishi Sunak made it clear he'd target help towards the poorest households and would rule out immediate tax cuts. But today, thoughts also turned to what he'd do if he doesn't make it to number 10.
I'm going to stay as a Member of Parliament, and I was really delighted. Actually, I finished this campaign on Friday at home in Yorkshire with my own members, which was really lovely. And it's been a great privilege to represent them as their Member of Parliament for Richmond and North Yorkshire. I'd love to keep doing that as long as they'll have me.
Preparations are underway to welcome the new Prime Minister to Downing Street on Tuesday. But the question that can't be answered just yet is how well prepared they are to confront the cost of living crisis. Ian Watson, BBC News, Westminster.
A number of European governments have revealed plans to help businesses and consumers cope with spiralling energy costs. Sweden and Finland have announced multi-billion-pound packages to support energy companies, while the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz has put aside £56 billion to help industry and give extra payments to pensioners, students and people on benefits. So what are people here hoping the next Prime Minister will do for them? Our correspondent Mairead Smith has been talking to people in Leeds.
Rosita runs 2 cafes and a bar in Leeds, employing 30 people. For her, the hike in the cost of living has hit hard. As a business, her energy bills aren't capped, and she's watched them rise to a level she just can't afford.
Energy's probably been the worst, to be honest. I'd say this time a year ago, I was spending around £1,200 a quarter for electricity here. And I've had a bill that came in a week ago for £7 grand. I think ultimately, if things carry on like this, we're going to have to shop.
We will have a new Prime Minister tomorrow. What do you need them to do right away?
We want to make sure everyone's all right and people aren't too worried about having to either eat or pay their bills. But second to small businesses, the UK is based on that. And I think it's important that we either get some grants in, either VAT is reduced or just cut completely.
Rosita's fears for her business are also felt at home. Like all of us, she'll face an energy price increase next month when the price cap is set to rise to £3,549 a year for a typical household. Just up the road in the busy suburb of Chapel Allerton, people want action now.
Costs need to come down and the government need to sort of take action and help support people.
I want them to think about working class.
Think about? She mean think
because
about?
We work hard and we can't afford lots of things.
Everything's going up, so everyone's feeling the pinch. It's a struggle when you've got children because you feel like you can't do the fun things you used to be able to do.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I wouldn't want to be a politician trying to figure all this out because where's the money come from? I guess they're going to have to pull it from somewhere else, aren't they?
The rising cost of energy is continuing to push inflation up. It's currently at 10%, and the Bank of England predicts it will keep rising. The stakes are high for the new Prime Minister, tasked with tackling...
Is he really going out to eat? Why don't you just cook at home?
Mairead Smith, BBC News,
Hello?
Leeds.
Political editor Chris Mason is here. Chris, the Swedes, the Finns, the Germans, they've announced packages to help their consumers and industries. Liz Truss, many are suggesting, is probably going to win tomorrow. First of all, is that the case? And in your opinion, and secondly, what is she likely to do to help
86 million. Who gets that? Him.
She will win tomorrow.
What is
The
it?
most optimistic of Rishi Sunak's team only quibble with what the margin of defeat for him might be rather than defeat itself. So what is Liz Truss going to do? If you step back from all of the hubbub of the campaign over the summer, only one thing mattered, and it was Liz Truss changing from saying that she wasn't in the business of giving out handouts to now acknowledging there will be a big intervention, perhaps as soon as Thursday of this week. Tens of billions of pounds it is likely to cost. Why has she done that? This is the obvious bit. That she's doing it simply because people are being confronted by unpayable bills that would bankrupt them, bankrupt businesses, bankrupt the economy ultimately, and therefore would bankrupt a new government. So a big intervention is essential, not least politically, given what Labour have promised to do or what they say they would do if they were in government, which was a substantial and very expensive intervention. So that's what we'll get in the coming days. And we're going to get a big change as well, Clive, because we're going to see the departure of the very definition of a performance primary colours Prime Minister in Boris Johnson. So the national conversation will switch, but the challenges the new Prime Minister will be confronted by are just the same as her predecessor, in other words, Boris Johnson. Politics is going to be difficult, fraught and competitive. Some things don't change.
Do you think?
Okay, Chris Smith, that's Chris Mason, our political editor.
Aye.
Merseyside police have arrested 2 men in connection with the murder of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell, who was shot in her home in Liverpool last night. Officers say the suspects were detained in the Runcorn area of the city in the early hours of this morning. Our reporter Juliet Phillips joins us live from Liverpool. Juliet, what's the latest?
Yes, well, it was just around the corner from here on Kings Heath Avenue where 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell was shot and killed in her own home. She was shot when a gunman chased another man inside 2 weeks ago. Now, this evening, police have told us they have now arrested a 34-year-old man from Liverpool on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. They're currently questioning him at the moment. They've also arrested a 41-year-old man from Knowsley on suspicion of assisting an offender. Now, these aren't the first arrests to happen in terms of this case. 2 other men were previously arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder, but were released on bail last week. Now, Merseyside police, despite these latest arrests, still said they're keen to hear any information from the public. They say no matter how small that information might seem, it'll help them build up a strong evidential picture when it comes to bringing those responsible for Olivia's killings to justice. And if you look just behind me, as you can see, lots of people are still laying flowers, cards and balloons here in memory of Olivia. It really has shocked and devastated the community here.
Okay. Juliet, thank you for that. Juliet Phillips, they're live in Liverpool. Let's take a look at some of the day's other top stories now. Almost 1,000 people were brought to Kent yesterday by border force and lifeboat crews after trying to cross the channel. The French authorities say they returned close to 200 migrants and asylum seekers to France. So far, more than 25,000 have made the crossing in small boats this year. 3 siblings who died in what's been described as a violent and traumatic incident at a house in Dublin have been named. 18-year-old Lisa Cash and her younger brother and sister, 8-year-old twins Christy and Chelsea Corley, were attacked shortly after midnight. Their teenage brother is also being treated for non-life-threatening injuries. The children's mother is currently being supported by her family. A man in his early 20s has been arrested. Donald Trump has called President Biden an enemy of the state and accused the White House of weaponizing the FBI against him. Speaking at a Republican rally in Pennsylvania, his first public appearance since FBI agents searched his Florida resort for classified documents, Mr. Trump said the raid was one of the most shocking abuses of power by any administration in American history. The rock band Foo Fighters and 80,000 fans have joined forces to say goodbye to the group's former drummer, Taylor Hawkins, who died earlier this year at the age of 50. His 16-year-old son Shane joined lead singer Dave Grohl for the 6-hour tribute concert at Wembley Stadium, which also featured surprise appearances from Sir Paul McCartney, Queen and AC/DC. Now, with all the sport, here's Carthy and Anaya Seagram at the BBC Sports Centre. Hi, Carthy.
Hello, thank you very much. Arsenal's 100% winning start to the season has come to an end after a 3-1 defeat to Manchester United at Old Trafford. 2 of United's goals were scored by Marcus Rashford as they move into 5th place in the Premier League. Arsenal remain top of the table, ahead by 1 point. Ollie Foster reports.
As perfect as Arsenal's start have been, they haven't made it to the top of the table by beating any of their big 6 rivals. So they knew that they needed to put on their Sunday best for their first major test of their season. Nice. Gabriel Martinelli thought he'd scored the first goal, but the video assistant spotted a foul in the build-up. That's another one for the weekend list of contentious VAR decisions. United only signed their Brazilian winger Antony 3 days ago, but they threw him on from the start. early payback on some of that £80 million. Bukayo Saka also scored his first goal of the season, pouncing on poor United defending to put Arsenal back into the game. Not for long though, as his England teammate Marcus Rashford stole the show and the points with a second half double. That's now a 4-match winning run for United. The Gunners still lead the Premier League, but they've misfired for the first time. Ollie Foster, BBC News.
That's how it goes for cadets.
Brighton are in 4th place in the Premier League after coming back from conceding a goal in the first minute of their game against Leicester City. They went on to score 5 of their own, including this free kick from Alexis McAllister. Brighton's 5-2 win.
Oh, it clipped somebody on head and went in.
Leaves Leicester City bottom of the table with just 1 point from 6 games. Defending world champion Max Verstappen has won a Dutch Grand Prix that was full of drama to extend his lead in this year's Formula One title race to over 100 points. Lewis Hamilton's hopes of victory evaporated due to tyre selection issues and a safety car, while Great Britain's George Russell finished in 2nd place. Jolinski reports.
This is how F1 looks in the Netherlands. You can measure the mood by the orange. 100,000 fans in to see one man, their Dutch champion, Max Verstappen. In his home race, he was on pole.
It's lights out and away we go.
But this would be strategic. Lewis Hamilton started 4th, but the right tyres and fewer pit stops took the Briton towards the lead. He hadn't won all season, but his chance got complicated.
Oh, we got another car stopping.
A retirement brought the safety car, a restart, and just behind Hamilton was the Dutchman.
Verstappen is ahead.
It took Verstappen 1 turn to retake the lead. When it mattered, Mercedes had got it wrong. Hamilton went from the front back to 4th and put it down to his tyres. This win puts Verstappen so far clear at the top. It meant so much to do it here. Jolinski, BBC News.
The opening stage of the Tour of Britain has been won by Corbin Strong of New Zealand in tricky, wet and windy conditions. Britain's Tom Piddock finished in 5th place. The 181-kilometre stage race took place from Aberdeen to the Cairngorms. Great Britain's Piggy March has won the Burley Horse Trials, one of the sport of eventing's toughest and most prestigious prizes, which hasn't been held since 2019 due to the COVID pandemic. March held her nerve in a nail-biting final show-jumping phase to win on the veteran mare, Bannock Camille. There's more on the BBC Sport website, including the latest from the whole thread of tennis's US Open in New York.
Kathy, thank you. That's it. I'll be back at 10. Now on BBC One, time for the news where you are.
Half an hour. Is that what it was?
20 minutes.
Hello, good evening from up north. A teenager has been arrested in Bradford after a double-decker bus that was due to be used as an activity space by a children's charity was destroyed in what police have described as an arson attack. The Valley Project on the Homewood estate in Bradford provides activities for some of the most disadvantaged children in West Yorkshire. The charity today said they've been overwhelmed with donations and have raised more than £2,000 in order to replace the bus, as David Rhodes reports.
How could you do that?
On the Homewood estate in Bradford lies a haven for local children. Hundreds each week come and create their own world at this adventure playground. A recent donation of a disused bus was the playground's latest addition, until it was destroyed this week in an act of arson.
It was all about children do art and crafts and loads of stuff, but unfortunately you can see behind us it's been burnt because people have been around here.
It was quite new on site, lots of excitement around it. You know, all the kids wanted to be the bus driver for the day and take us off to different locations.
The playground is run by a local charity whose aim is to tackle inequality in one of West Yorkshire's most deprived communities. A community that has been left seething by an act of arson.
It's been a range of emotions from sadness to anger. You know, there's been kids giving up to just disbelief. You know, some of them have been told, or parents have seen it on Facebook, and they just had to come down and see it for themselves. And yeah, a lot of anger. You know, they wanted to develop this space for years to come.
Homewood is one of the most deprived areas of West Yorkshire, and this act of arson has been described as an act of self-harm against the community that has rallied together to try and put right what someone has done wrong. On streets where people don't have a lot of spare cash, £2,000 has been raised in just a matter of days to fund replacing the destroyed bus. A communal act of kindness that underlines how important this playground is in so many local families' lives.
A lot of people are putting in £5 and £10. We've had people saying that their payday's not till such and such a day and they can't afford to put in just yet. People that probably did this will know kids that use this project, so it's not just the damaging people they know. And it's another bad story we have about the community, that there's a lot of good things to talk about here.
A teenager has been arrested in connection with the destruction of the bus, and inquiries are still ongoing. And it's hoped these children won't have to wait long before their adventure playground is completely restored. David Rhodes, BBC Look North, Bradford.
Taking out kids
A bike rider has died this morning after a collision in Sheffield. South Yorkshire Police say they were called just before 7 o'clock to reports of an incident involving a car and a motorbike on East Bank Road. The driver of the motorbike was fatally injured. His family has been informed. Stagecoach say they're assisting police with their investigation after a man died after being struck by a tram in Sheffield on Friday night. The incident occurred on the stretch of track on Sheffield Road. South Yorkshire Police confirmed yesterday that the man had died at the scene. A factory in Leeds has caught fire this afternoon. West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue were called to the scene just before 4 o'clock. Around 40 firefighters were in attendance. The building was still in use as a glass manufacturing factory. There have been no reports of any injuries. Now, from today, passengers using bus services in West Yorkshire will pay no more than £2 per journey under new plans announced by the county's mayor. An unlimited day's travel will now cost no more than £4.50. Tracy Brabin, who was elected as West Yorkshire's first ever mayor last year, had campaigned for a reduction in fares for bus users. She said the new fare would make a difference to people's lives and help to make bus travel more affordable.
It's something I promised the people of West Yorkshire 18 months ago, and working with our bus company partners in an enhanced partnership, we've finally got to £2 single fare and a £4.50 day saver. So in West Yorkshire, any route, any operator for a day, £4.50 is 20% cut.
The Department for Transport announced yesterday that a £2 journey cap will be in place across the rest of the region between January and March next year. Now, Leeds City Council say that this year's light night will be as energy efficient as possible due to the rising cost of energy. Light installations, large projections and artworks are set to illuminate landmarks in the city in October. More than 50 installations for the event, which is in its 18th year. Now, on to the weather.
Hello there. Low pressure staying close by next week, so it is going to stay fairly changeable. Overnight tonight it'll be very unsettled. We'll see a band of showery rain pushing its way up from the southwest. Once the eastern band clears through, another one will track its way through, and that does look very heavy, potentially a little bit thundery at times. It'll be quite breezy overnight tonight too, with temperatures not dropping much lower than 15 or 16 degrees, so quite a mild and muggy start. But as you can see on the graphics, once the early rain clears away, it's actually looking like a largely dry and bright day. The risk that the heat from the sun could just trigger a couple of hefty showers, but I think for many it will be largely dry, and in the sunshine it will feel warm through the afternoon with highs at 24 or 25 degrees. But low pressure will continue to track its way east through the rest of the week, so staying quite changeable Tuesday and Wednesday.
Have a lovely evening. Do join us again just after 10 o'clock. Goodbye.
Why are you charging your phone? You don't need it tomorrow. Alright. Never mind it. What's on called that 96-year-old lady? Or whatever she was. Entertaining them all. That'd be funny. They are quite funny older people, aren't they? Oh, the little one with wobbly. No offence.
Keep seeing me nuts.
What?
Sorry, can you do that in about nuts? Yeah, got to careful you're not something there.
Squirrels are fucking scranning up.
Multiplier up. Supercharge.
Fucking hell. You need it for the fucking team and all, don't you? Like family of fucking spear troopers. You know what I mean? Idiots. I don't really care about it. No, I'm okay, thanks. Come on!
Supercharge. Multiplier up. Supercharge.
Stupid bastard. man, you fucking bastard. Come on, dickhead.
Multiplier up. Multiplier up.
Well,
Supercharge.
what the hell? It's rather rare for you, isn't it? Hello. Yeah, it didn't really come through, is it? And maybe because you come out of warm bath into cold air and then blah blah blah.
Supercharge. Multiplier up. Multi-bomb. Supercharge. Multi-bomb. Multiplier up. Supercharge. Extra bomb. Supercharge. Extra bomb. Multiplier up. Extra bomb. Supercharge. Supercharge. Empty bar. Supercharge.
For God's sake, what's up with you?